Hello, and welcome back to a Pup in the Life. A new week in the Pup in the Life, and we are here walking again in the countryside. It's gonna be a great week in the middle of the countryside on holiday, and I'm thrilled. So today, something that popped up from a podcast that Mom was hearing about and around gyms and restaurants. So this podcast, I think it was from Grant Cardone, but I don't remember exactly, just was telling something on the lines of, do you know why the restaurants or the doors of the restaurants are so big and the doors or the actual rooms of the gyms, maybe like in resorts and hotels and such, are so small? Because the money is in the restaurant. It's not in the gym. So this could mean many things. For example, the gym might be free. Actually, you already paid for it when you actually booked your hotel, your stay, and the restaurant is not. Is it the case? It might be. It's not obvious. It depends. The answer is it depends. So this goes for once. And second thing is, let's give it another explanation. More people, on average, go to the restaurants, especially when they're on holiday, and less people go to the gym. Yeah, mambra. So, this is a plausible explanation. And so, for utility reasons, you build smaller gyms and bigger restaurants, which is fine. But what if we go a bit further and we say that it might happen to think that the habit of actually going to the gym is less common than actually going to the restaurant. And I think we can all agree. So now, what if we take this as a metaphor? What does this metaphor explain? That technically speaking, you are giving more probability to the restaurant of being a profit center than the actual gym. Why? Because less people go and less people have a habit to do so. Now, as for Mom, it stands on the contrary. She goes more on the gym and less at the restaurant. Or maybe 50-50, especially on holiday. But what is actually important in the long run is probably actually going to the gym rather than eating at a restaurant. And so the thing is, the real business of most things that you're doing today is keeping you on the today. Fulfillment of cravings that are right here, right now. Probably everything that relates to ads and publicity and things that just tickle your muscle for need in the right here, right now. It's way harder for the humans to go beyond what's there, to go beyond the today. You humans are very good to do this only once you feel the anxiety of the future. But what if I told you that the anxiety of the future is less present and is less invested in, and she's probably gonna invest less in you if you actually pick decisions better today in relation to tomorrow. Now, I heard something about a person asking, what is my future self going to do about this in 10 years? And why can't I do it now? Before asking, what are the steps that are going to take me to go there? But this is for another podcast. Anyways, the thing is, I am not really sure that we have understood as dogs how to help you with this, but we try a lot. But I'm quite sure you didn't understand. And now, I don't want to get into discussions with regarding eating disorders or whatnot. I'm not comparing restaurants to gyms. I'm just talking about shit that's, comparable in the scheme of things. We could talk potentially about the type of, of shops that you see in Vergola, in malls and whatnot. So there are many things to say. How you place items in a shop as well. It's harder to find useful items. I don't know if you know, but that's actually what happens. Anyways, gym is small, restaurant is big, present cravings better than future opportunities and future objectives. Now, if you don't see how is this a problem, I'm not sure you're on the target for this podcast. But if you don't know, you need to realize that usually what happens is once you understand it, it's pretty also hard to keep going in that freaking habit, but it builds up as much as you go. And without talking about how difficult it is to maintain a habit, to start it, to keep feeling motivated, if you remember that, if you accept that you live in a world in which you're conditioned by, well, actually capitalism, but not just that, the current structure of how humans think, to be accepting that you are pushed to cravings, and it's okay to fulfill cravings right now, in spite of what you're going to feel later. You're going to understand that you can give yourself a break, and you can understand that if you haven't done it, if you're not perfect as you want to be, which by the way, you're never going to be, if you haven't accomplished yet what you want to accomplish, it's okay. We live in a world that most of the times doesn't push us in the direction where we want to push ourselves to go. Ferme! Ferme! And so if you think about it, Vergola! Sorry. Ferma! If you think about it, you can give yourself a break. And you can accept that you have externalities and you are the one who actually... Vergola! I'm sorry, I was escaping. Just wanted to say, you are the one who needs to motivate themselves. And it is what it is. I'm sorry. I don't have any other option for you. But please remember the story of the gym and of the restaurant, so that you then understand how we are trained to do things. And actually, this is also not good for people with eating disorders as well. But we're not going to get into it. We're just going to consider the metaphor and the comparison. So, enough for today. Let me know if you ever noticed it. We're going to go back home now. Pretty hot. Too hot, to be honest. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. I send you kisses, hugs, and a bit of barks.